Hey, how's it going guys? It's Nate here. And Skyrim's a game with its own fair share of pretty twisted villains. Dragons trying to end the world, seemingly just because, elves suppressing people's freedom of religion, necromancers trying to raise armies. The world built in the Elder Scrolls V has no shortage of evil antagonists. However, there are a few opponents that the player meets in-game that perhaps aren't quite as evil as they may seem. Some of these characters have just had a hard upbringing and are victims of circumstance, with no real bad intentions. Others are even objectively good people when you look at it from their perspective. You know what they say, you never really know a guy till you take a walk in his shoes. So today we'll be taking a look at 5 potentially misunderstood bad guys in the Elder Scrolls V. We're starting small with Braith. Braith is a small girl living in the city of Whiterun, and has developed a bit of a reputation for being a bully. She frequently harasses and assaults Lars Battleborn, another child her age, and when approached by the Dragonborn, or any other authority figure, she responds quite disrespectfully. Now, in fairness, being a bit of a bully isn't nearly on par with what some of the other people on this list have done, but she's certainly just as irritating as every other antagonist, if not more so due to her arrogance. However, a look into Braith's life at home reveals the source of all of her behavior problems, and after discovering this, it gets a bit hard to blame her. Her father Amren and her mother Saphir are constantly arguing, as her dad rarely comes home, often spending most of his time and money looking for some ancient family sword that really doesn't matter. Her mother pays almost zero attention to her, and often criticizes her daughter to other random people she encounters. You can even overhear Braith try and get her mom's attention, only to be shot down should you be in their home when the two are present.
My daughter Braith says I read too much. Play with me, mother. Girls need to learn how to take care of themselves.
Braith's not a particularly bad person, she just needs a little bit more attention, someone to actually love her. Unfortunately, from the looks of it, her parents aren't the right people. Next on our list, Commander Maro is the primary villain throughout the Dark Brotherhood questline. He's the leader of the Pentis Oculatus, Emperor Titus Mede's personal security force. As your main objective throughout the Brotherhood's story arc is to assassinate the Emperor, naturally Maro serves as an antagonist. Maro betrays the Brotherhood's leader, Astrid, and slaughters most of the guild's members after being trusted. He also openly mocks the player routinely as he exuberantly celebrates victories over the guild. Sure, to be fair, he is just doing his job, but he doesn't have to be such a cunt about it. Well, the closer you look into this man's character, the more you realize that he's actually quite a stand-up guy, and has fairly consistent principles. Something rare in a turbulent place like Skyrim. For one, we again can't gloss over the fact that he's only doing his job by fighting the Brotherhood, and he almost succeeds in his mission had it not been for you, who are half god/dragon thing, so let's give him some credit here. It's not like he's attacking innocent puppies, but trained assassins who are trying to harm innocent people. Furthermore, during the quest Breaching Security, the Dragonborn is tasked with killing a Pentis Oculatus agent named Gaius, and planting false evidence on him, to throw off the organization. Well, that agent, Gaius, is, or was, Maro's own son, and a letter on Gaius's body, written by Maro, reveals that the man was quite a loving father who deeply cared about his son's well-being. In the writing, he refers to Gaius as, quote, my beloved son, and signs it, quote, your loving father. I mean, for God's sakes, my own dad doesn't do that. So, considering you're trying to ruin his career and murder his family, I find it easy to excuse Maro's rather sneaky tactics and flamboyant celebrations. Also, if instead of joining the Dark Brotherhood, you decide to destroy them, he'll even take the time out of his day to attend your wedding. I mean, come on, good friend, good at his job, good family man, this is a good person all around. For a third spot, Boshnag is the orcish leader of what the game refers to as the Spell Swords, a small tribe of magic-orientated bandits held up in South Fringe Sanctum. At face value, he and what appears to be his thugs seem to be just another gang of violent barbarians, amongst many in Skyrim. Upon entering their hideout, Boshnag and his gang will attack on sight, and use generic bandit dialogue, not exactly helping their case. But as you progress through the dungeon, you'll eventually stumble across a dark elf named Sylvan, stuck in a spider web. Evidently, she was once a member of the tribe, but fell out of favor after she got caught sneaking out of the cave without telling anyone, and was accused of operating as a Thalmor spy. As punishment, Sylvan was thrown in the Sanctum's large spider den to die. According to her, and she has good reason to hate these people, Boshnag's gang is actually just a group of necromancers trying to study in peace. With their craft banned throughout the realm, the group has found sanctuary in this location, under Boshnag. And while they do attack you on sight, you are trespassing on their property, and considering the persecution they face, they likely fear you as a threat, so standing their ground could be expected. These folks weren't evil, they just wanted to be left alone. Even when you tell Sylvan, who believes she was wronged by the group, that you killed Boshnag, she'll respond that she, quote, isn't sure how she feels about that, though ultimately accepts your actions. And while necromancy isn't exactly as innocent as knitting, there's no evidence that these people ever harmed anyone. And apparently, Boshnag and his men also hate the Thalmor too. And you know what they say about the enemy of your enemy, right? Fourth on our list, we have the Bandit Leader of Robber's Gorge. Now, this is actually an unnamed NPC, whose appearance and stats will randomize whenever you encounter them. There doesn't seem to be much special about this individual, who looks to be about as generic as a bandit can get. But a look underneath this bandit leader's home in a small cave/basement that they've built will unearth a journal written by them. In it, the bandit leader expresses second thoughts about the organization they've created, following a feud between two of the tribe's members. The leader states that he or she, again randomized NPC, is beginning to get sick of all of the drama. Fearing there will be a mutiny, the chief is actually planning on fleeing the entire group as soon as they believe they can afford it, to start a new beginning. Now, admittedly, these second thoughts are more of an act of self-preservation considering a potential uprising, rather than moral objection to what it is the bandits do. But nonetheless, perhaps if you waited a bit longer to kill this bandit leader, they would have moved on and left their life of crime in the past. And finally, last but certainly not least on this list, there is Cicero the Jester, definitely the most mainstream. Now, in fairness, this guy is pretty evil regardless of what I'm about to say. He still murders innocent people to death for a living, and is all around pretty creepy, thanks to his out there personality. Cicero is the keeper of the Night Mother, an important position within the Dark Brotherhood, and he who holds it is responsible for upkeeping the coffin and corpse, gross, of the Night Mother. Bethesda does an excellent job at making this character all around feel annoying, creepy, and just generally someone you dislike. Well, in the quest, The Cure for Madness, the player returns to the Dark Brotherhood Sanctuary, only to discover that Cicero attempted to kill the guild's leadership. Astrid sends you to the Dawnstar Sanctuary to execute Cicero for this betrayal. And you're off. Your objective is one that's fairly easy to get behind. In fact, most of us probably wanted to kill the man long before this quest anyway. However, it's suggested that perhaps Cicero isn't entirely in the wrong. Should you have Lucie Inlet, a spectral assassin whom you can summon after completing a few missions for the Brotherhood, who is a longtime member of the guild and now lives in the Void, as a follower, he'll try and convince you not to follow Astrid's instructions, arguing that you killing Cicero would upset Sithis and the Night Mother.
I will kill this jester if you so desire, but there is a disturbance in the Void. Our dread father does not wish this. The Keeper is a sacred position within the Dark Brotherhood. Ask yourself, do you trust the wisdom of Our Lady?
Considering LeChance has direct connections to these beings, it's safe to say he knows what he's talking about, and how they would feel. Furthermore, if you press Astrid about what set Cicero off, she'll eventually confess to her and other members of the guild openly mocking the Night Mother and Cicero behind his back. Perhaps one day he heard one of those conversations. When you finally confront Cicero yourself, he won't attack you unless you throw the first blow, only acting in self-defense. Instead, he begs to be spared, for you to simply walk away and let him live. So now the question is, do you? And with that, we are going to wrap up. 5 potentially misunderstood villains in The Elder Scrolls V. Which of these guys do you sympathize the most with? And what villains have you encountered in Skyrim that, when you think about it a little bit, they're not exactly in the wrong? Leave a comment down below. Thanks for stopping by, everyone. If you enjoyed the video, like ratings are, as always, very much appreciated, and hope to catch you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.